The secret to a fulfilling life lies not in accumulating more for ourselves, but in what we give to others. Our culture often teaches us that happiness is found through personal achievements, material possessions, or climbing the ladder of success. But the truth is, when we focus solely on ourselves, our own wants, needs, and ambitions, we limit the depth and breadth of our impact on the world around us. We confine ourselves to a small space, one centered on individual fulfillment, which may provide temporary satisfaction but often leaves a sense of emptiness in the long run. True fulfillment comes from looking beyond our own desires and extending ourselves to others. When we shift our focus outward, we tap into something greater than personal success. We connect with a sense of purpose that transcends self-interest, and in doing so, we elevate not only the lives of those we serve, but our own lives as well. Service to others becomes a pathway to meaning, one that enriches us in ways material success cannot. It opens us to the interconnectedness of life, reminding us that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. The beauty of giving is that it doesn't have to be grand or monumental to make a difference. Often the most powerful acts of generosity are found in the small moments, helping a friend through a difficult time, offering a listening ear, lending a hand when someone is in need, or simply showing kindness to a stranger. These seemingly small gestures carry a profound impact, both for the giver and the receiver. They create connections, foster empathy, and build a sense of community that nourishes us on a deeper level. Supporting a cause you believe in can also be a powerful way to give. Whether it's volunteering your time, donating resources, or raising awareness for an issue close to your heart, these actions contribute to something bigger than yourself. They reflect your values, your passions, and your desire to make the world a better place. And in doing so, they bring a sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing your efforts are making a difference in the lives of others. What's remarkable about giving is the way it multiplies its effects. When you perform an act of kindness or service, you set off a ripple effect. The person you help is not only uplifted in that moment, but they are often inspired to pay it forward, to spread that kindness or generosity to others. In this way, the impact of your giving extends far beyond the immediate moment, reaching people you may never even meet, influencing lives in ways you may never fully realize. Giving also transforms the giver. When we give, we step outside of ourselves, and in doing so, we expand our perspective. We gain a deeper understanding of others, and our capacity for empathy, compassion, and connection grows. We begin to see the world not through the lens of scarcity, where we are constantly seeking more for ourselves, but through the lens of abundance, where there is more than enough to share. This shift in mindset is liberating, as it allows us to focus on the well-being of others without worrying about what we stand to gain in return. Furthermore, the joy that comes from giving is unlike any other. It's a deep, lasting sense of fulfillment that cannot be bought or attained through personal achievements alone. It comes from knowing that in some small or significant way you have made a positive difference in someone else's life. This kind of joy is rooted in connection, in knowledge that we are contributing to the greater good and that our actions, no matter how small, have meaning and purpose. When we choose to give, we are not only enriching the lives of others, but we are also leaving a mark on the world. We are creating a legacy that extends beyond the span of our own lives, one that continues to touch people long after we are gone. This legacy is not measured in accolades or possessions, but in the lives we've touched, the kindness we've shown, and the contributions we've made to the well-being of others. In this way, giving becomes the ultimate expression of what it means to live a meaningful and fulfilled life. Living before you die isn't measured by the external markers of success that society often holds up as the pinnacle of achievement, whether it's wealth, fame, or the accumulation of material goods. While these things can provide comfort or temporary gratification, they don't represent the core of what it means to truly live. At its heart, living fully is about something much deeper. It's about discovering your purpose, finding what gives your life meaning beyond the surface level aspirations. This sense of purpose doesn't come from outside validation or societal expectations. It comes from within, from understanding what drives you, what fills you with passion, and what connects you to something greater than yourself. purpose is not always about a grand mission or a well-defined career path. Sometimes it's as simple as nurturing relationships, helping others, or contributing to your community in a way that feels authentic to who you are. Your purpose might evolve over time, but it always revolves around the idea that you are part of something larger, that your life has value not just for yourself but for the world around you. It's what pulls you through the hard times, gives you clarity in moments of doubt, and provides a sense of direction when life feels chaotic or uncertain. Being fully present in your life is another essential piece of living before you die. In an age of constant distractions and endless demands for our attention, presence is often overlooked. And we spend so much time thinking about the past or worrying about the future that we rarely appreciate the moment we're in. But true living happens in those moments, the small, everyday experiences that pass us by if we're not mindful. Whether it's a conversation with a loved one, a moment of quiet reflection, or a walk in nature, the present is where life unfolds. When we learn to be fully engaged in the present, we open ourselves up to the beauty of life as it is, rather than constantly chasing after what we think it should be. Serving something greater than yourself is also a cornerstone of living fully. Life isn't just about personal achievements or self-improvement, it's about using your unique gifts to contribute to the world in a meaningful way. Whether it's through small acts of kindness, larger efforts to help those in need, or simply living in alignment with your values, service brings depth and purpose to life. It allows us to move beyond our own desires and ego-driven pursuits and connect with the broader human experience. It reminds us that we are all part of a shared journey and that our actions, no matter how seemingly small, can have a ripple effect on the world around us. When we live with purpose, presence, and a commitment to serving something greater, we tap into the true essence of life. It's no longer about chasing after things that only provide fleeting satisfaction, but about embracing a deeper sense of fulfillment that comes from being true to ourselves and giving back to others. This approach to life brings with it a sense of peace, even in the face of challenges, because we know that we are living in alignment with who we are and what truly matters. We find joy in the process rather than constantly striving for some distant goal, and we begin to see life not as a series of tasks to accomplish, but as a journey to be experienced. Life becomes richer when we focus not on what we can get, but on what we can give. It's about how we choose to show up in each moment, how we respond to the people and situations around us, and how we use the time we have to make a difference. Living before you die means recognizing that life is precious and finite, but also that it's filled with opportunities to make meaningful connections, to grow, to learn, and to contribute to the world in a way that reflects who you are at your core. Because in the end, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. If this message struck a chord with you, it's a reminder that deep within, we all seek lives filled with meaning, purpose, and connection. We live in a world where it's easy to get swept up in the demands and distractions of everyday life, losing sight of what truly matters. But when we pause to reflect, to engage with ideas that push us toward a fuller, more intentional way of living, we realize there's so much more to life than simply going through the motions. By embracing a life centered on purpose and presence, we start to see the beauty in every moment, no matter how small. We recognize that each day brings an opportunity to be more aligned with our values, to connect with others on a deeper level, and to contribute something meaningful to the world. The journey toward living fully doesn't happen all at once. It's a continuous process of growth, self-discovery, and mindful action. But with each step, we come closer to a life that feels truly lived, one filled with joy, connection, and impact. In choosing to live this way, we're not only transforming our own lives, but also inspiring those around us to do the same. Each of us has the power to create a ripple effect, spreading positivity, kindness, and a sense of purpose in our communities and beyond. The more people embrace the idea of living fully, being present, serving others, and staying true to their inner purpose, the more we can shift the collective consciousness toward a world that values meaning over materialism, connection over competition, and love over fear. Living with intention doesn't mean abandoning ambition or ignoring the practicalities of life. It means weaving purpose into everything we do. It's about asking ourselves how we can contribute, how we can show up as our authentic selves, and how we can create a life that reflects what truly matters to us. Every act, no matter how small, contributes to a larger tapestry of meaning, and each decision brings us closer to living in alignment with our deepest values. When we come together with a shared vision of living fully, we create a world that's more compassionate, connected, and purpose-driven. We inspire one another to reach for higher ideals, to live with greater authenticity, and to find joy in the process of becoming who we were meant to be. In this collective effort, we lift each other up, creating a community where everyone is empowered to live a life of meaning and fulfillment. In today's fast-paced world, where everyone seems to be rushing through life, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of noise, distractions, and endless expectations. We live in a time where being busy is glorified, where productivity is often seen as the ultimate measure of success. But in the midst of this chaos, have you ever paused and asked yourself, am I truly living? We often move from one task to the next, ticking boxes off our to-do lists, chasing after goals, and striving to meet societal standards. But in doing so, we sometimes forget the essence of life itself. We become so consumed by the hustle that we neglect to truly experience the present moment, to connect with ourselves and those around us, and to find meaning beyond the busyness. Life in its truest form is not about how fast we can move or how much we can achieve. It's about the richness of our experiences, the depth of our relationships, and the fulfillment we find in the little moments. It's easy to become trapped in the mindset of constantly seeking more success, more possessions, more recognition. But the truth is, none of these external pursuits can fill the void within us if we aren't aligned with our inner purpose. Living fully requires more than just existing. It demands awareness, intention, and presence. We need to ask ourselves what truly matters, what brings us joy, and what leaves us with a sense of fulfillment at the end of the day. To live fully is to be present. It's about savoring the moments that make life beautiful, whether they're big or small. It's about being mindful in our interactions, listening intently to others, and taking time to reflect on our own thoughts and feelings. When we allow ourselves to be present, we open ourselves up to the magic of life that is often overlooked in the rush. The taste of a good meal, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the sound of laughter with loved ones, these are the moments that truly define a life well lived. In a world filled with distractions, it's also essential to carve out space for silence. Silence can be uncomfortable in a society that's constantly on the go, but it's in the stillness that we reconnect with our inner selves. Taking time to be alone, to think, to breathe, and to simply be is where we often find clarity, peace, and a sense of direction. It's in these moments of reflection that we can discern what is truly important to us and what we need to let go of in order to live more authentically. In addition to being present and embracing silence, living fully also means embracing vulnerability. In a world that often celebrates perfection and invulnerability, it can be difficult to allow ourselves to be open and honest about our fears, our desires, and our struggles. But vulnerability is at the heart of meaningful connections and authentic living. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we give others permission to do the same, fostering deeper relationships and creating a sense of belonging. Living fully is also about aligning our lives with our values. It's easy to get swept up in what others expect of us, but to truly live, we must identify what matters most to us, not what society, our peers, or even our families might dictate. When we live in alignment with our core beliefs and values, life becomes more fulfilling because we are no longer living for others' approval or validation. Instead, we're living in a way that feels true and meaningful to who we are. Lastly, living fully means taking risks and stepping outside of our comfort zones. Growth and discovery often happen when we push beyond the boundaries of what feels safe and familiar. Whether it's pursuing a passion, embarking on a new adventure, or simply speaking up for ourselves, stepping into the unknown is a vital part of truly living. While there may be fear and uncertainty, it's in these moments that we feel most alive. We all carry within us a unique gift, a passion, a purpose, a deep calling that makes us feel alive. This gift is not something trivial or superficial, it's the essence of who we are, the thing that drives us, that fills our hearts with joy and excitement. Yet, in a world that often values conformity over individuality, many of us suppress this gift. We set it aside to meet societal expectations, to fit into molds that were never meant for us, or to follow paths that others have laid out for us. From a young age, we're conditioned to believe that success and happiness look a certain way. We're told to pursue specific careers, to seek validation through external achievements, to follow conventional paths that promise security but may not necessarily bring fulfillment. But deep down, we know that these external measures of success don't always resonate with what we truly want. The problem is, the longer we ignore that inner voice, the one telling us to pursue our passions, the more disconnected we become from our authentic selves. Imagine your life as a book, each day a page waiting to be written. If every page of that book reads the same as someone else's, if it follows a script that's already been written by someone else, would it truly be your story? What would make your life distinct, vibrant, and worth telling? The first step toward living fully is recognizing that your story is yours to write. It's about discovering what makes your heart beat faster, what fills your soul with energy and inspiration. This discovery is a deeply personal journey, and it's different for everyone. For some, their gift might be the ability to create, to paint, to write, to make music, or to bring beauty into the world through art. For others, it could be the ability to build, to craft something meaningful with their hands, whether that's a physical object or an idea that brings people together. For some, their purpose might be found in helping others, in making a difference in their community, in advocating for change, or in offering support in ways that only they can. Whatever your unique gift is, it's not something to hide or suppress. It's something to be embraced, nurtured, and lived. Too often people push aside their passions out of fear of judgment, fear of failure, or fear of not meeting societal standards. But the reality is that no one else can live your life for you. No one else can fulfill the role you were meant to play. When you suppress your gift, you not only deprive yourself of the fulfillment and joy that come from living authentically, but you also deprive the world of the unique contributions only you can make. The challenge for many of us is that discovering our passion isn't always easy. It requires introspection, trial and error, and the courage to explore different paths. It requires us to let go of the fear of being different, of standing out, of doing something unconventional. But when we allow ourselves to explore what truly excites us, what makes us feel most alive, we open the door to a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. This journey of discovery is not about perfection or instant success. It's about the process of uncovering what lights up your soul and then having the courage to pursue it, even if the road ahead is uncertain. It's about giving yourself permission to dream, to experiment, and to evolve as you learn more about yourself and what you love. Living fully means giving your gift the space it deserves in your life, rather than pushing it aside for more conventional pursuits or the expectations of others. In doing so, you begin to write a story that is entirely your own, a story that reflects who you truly are, not who you think you should be. This journey isn't linear, and it won't always be easy, but it will be filled with moments of passion, creativity, and personal growth. By embracing your gift, you not only live more fully, but also inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that can change the world around you. Life unfolds in the now, yet so often we find ourselves distracted by the pull of the past or the uncertainty of the future. We become prisoners of our own thoughts, replaying old mistakes or missed opportunities, reliving moments that no longer serve us. We get caught up in what ifs and should haves, allowing regret and self-criticism to cloud our present experience. At the same time, we anxiously anticipate the future, trying to plan for every possible outcome, trying to exert control over what's yet to come. In this constant mental back and forth, we lose touch with the present moment, the only place where life truly exists. The problem is that when we dwell too much in the past or worry excessively about the future, we overlook the richness of what's happening right now. We miss the little moments that make life meaningful. The truth is, the past cannot be changed, and the future is always uncertain. The only thing we have any real influence over is the present moment, and yet this is often the very thing we neglect. We forget that life isn't happening in our memories or in our imagined futures. It's unfolding right here in front of us in the now. Living before you die means being fully engaged in the present. It means practicing mindfulness in the everyday moments that often go unnoticed. When you're with your loved ones, for example, it's not enough to just be physically present. Put down your phone, step away from distractions, and give them your full attention. Listen deeply to their words, engage with them fully, and appreciate the time you share together. Relationships are built and strengthened in these moments of undivided presence, and when we allow ourselves to be truly present with others, we create memories that last far beyond the conversation. In your work, being present means giving your full focus to the task at hand. Instead of letting your mind wander or multitasking endlessly, it's about immersing yourself in the process rather than fixating on the outcome or getting lost in the pressure to do more. When you work with focus and intention, not only does the quality of your work improve, but you also experience a deeper sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. Work becomes more than just a means to an end. It becomes an opportunity to engage fully with the present and to find meaning in what you do. Even in the most routine activities like walking, there's an opportunity to be present and fully alive. Instead of rushing from one place to the next, lost in thought or staring at a screen, take a moment to observe the world around you. Notice the colors of the trees, the sound of the wind, the texture of the ground beneath your feet. Breathe in the air, feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the coolness of the breeze. These small moments of awareness connect us to the present and remind us that life is not just about getting to the next destination, but about experiencing the journey along the way. The beauty of the present moment is that it's always available to us no matter where we are or what we're doing. It's not something we need to wait for or strive towards, it's something we can access right now, simply by shifting our attention away from the past or future and focusing on what's happening in the here and now. When we learn to live more fully in the present, we start to see life in a new way. We become more grateful for the small, everyday moments that we might otherwise overlook. We find joy in the simple pleasures, and we start to appreciate the richness of the world around us. Life is not waiting for us in some distant future moment. It's not something that can be recaptured from the past. It's happening now in the present, and the more we can cultivate awareness and presence, the more fully we can live. The present moment is where real life unfolds. It's where love, connection, growth, and joy reside. And by choosing to be present, we give ourselves the gift of truly experiencing life as it is, rather than missing out on it by being stuck in the past or preoccupied with the future.